there, and he averaged 7.5 and 8, whatever it was, and it was a bullpen day off, which didn't happen too often. And you know, his best moments was almost every time he took the mound. You had that opportunity that was going to be a special night.
Ted, talk about his speech Sunday, and where were you? What were you feeling when you watched it?
I was emotional, for one. I sat in front of the TV for about 3.5 hours, and I just didn't want to miss a thing. You know, there was a couple others. I know Smoltzy a little bit, and you know, he competed against all, but waiting for his, you just kept waiting, and you know, he took the stage. But it showed what heart he has for both, you know, the United States and for his home, the Dominican. I think he made points on both sides, and he's proud to have that opportunity here, and also what it means to his homeland. But you know, just so proud and happy for him. It's his moment, his time, and so well deserved.
And this night, the number going up, what's that going to mean for you?
It's huge. I mean, you look on that board, and there's only a few. There's only room for a few, and deservedly so. That Pedro is going to go right up there with them. I don't know if you've had that electric of a pitcher ever here.
Jason, what did it mean to you to be the guy who narrated that intro video for him right before his speech?
I was very honored to have that opportunity. They asked, and I said, absolutely. Just name when and where, and we worked out the details pretty quick. And they did, you know, Bruce Kornblatt did an amazing job of putting that all together. And just to have that opportunity, you know, to speak about Pedro. You know, you can't. I think the whole interview took probably an hour, but you know, it's only 3 minutes. There's a lot of info transferred, and hopefully what Pedro means to me, means to this organization, means to Red Sox Nation, that everybody's able to grab a little bit of that.
Jason, what was his impact in the clubhouse? We know about the stuff he had on the mound, but just the clubhouse kind of guy.
I think his clubhouse guy came when he took the mound. He was a different guy. He was a fun, loud, very loud, and I said the other day, it can be annoying, but annoying in sometimes a funny way. But he always had his teammates back when it came the right time, and I think that speaks more of him than anything. That something messed up happened to somebody. He had each other's backs, and he did it in, you know, out of his small frame, and it was pretty good to be a part of.
Jason, you and Pedro are both back with the organization now. What has this part of your relationship been like? You guys now working in different capacities.
We don't seem to cross paths too often. A few times in spring, once in a while at a few different events, having to sit down with him. I love seeing him. I love the impact, his knowledge. You know, every time he speaks about pitching, you want to put an ear in there and listen, because he struggled. He's been through struggle, so it wasn't always easy for him. He understands the different levels and trying to work towards seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and perfecting your craft, but along the way also not ever quitting, and be determined toward that, and don't fall short of your own dreams. And I think he does an excellent job of portraying that. But he had some gifts and ability to manipulate that baseball that only he can relate that sometimes to pitchers, to where it comes out of Pedro Martinez's mouth that somebody's going to listen.
Jason, what's your thoughts on the stake of the Red Sox today, and how surprised are you about the way that season is turning out?
Well, I'm not going to really get into their state right now. This is all about Pedro. I believe that everybody in this organization, top down through the players, are working hard to continue to get better and to continue to put out a good product. And I don't think that's changed, and that's about as far as I want to go right now.
Jason, a few of the 2004 guys will be here tonight for this. When you guys are back together, you know, how much do you enjoy that, and how much do you kind of recognize, even all this time since, how much that means to people here and how big that was?
As players, that was our team, and that team was built, and that team was able to be victorious, but that wasn't because of just that team. It was all the years past. It was the Mo Vaughns, it was Jim Rice's. It goes all the way back. It was a long time coming, and each part was built on another. And to see those guys, it's always awesome, you know. And sometimes it's nice to see their entire family because you all grew. A lot of them grew together, you know, kids, families, everybody. And you know, to see them, it's just awesome.
When you talked about Pedro, always you said that he taught you more about pitching. You talked to Pedro, and he said that you taught him more about pitching. Looking back on that, what does that mean to you that you both said?
I think Petey's lying. You know, you understand that it's what he was able to do that you may not understand that everybody else was able to do. But the different factors, his ability made him different was his ability to read hitters from the mound in pressure situations, read swings, and to make those adjustments, along with his competitiveness, made him elite. He had the repertoire, but not everybody can see the game as slowly in the ability from the mound that he could. And I do truly believe it, and that's where I would learn from him. You trust what you see, you trust what goes on during the game, and you can make adjustments from there. So you go from one mind to two minds to now you got two minds working together.
What do you think is going to be going through his head when he sees that number go up tonight?
I don't know. I don't know if that could be just even more emotion for him than I couldn't imagine what was going through his head on Sunday, and build up to all this. He's a passionate man, and I can't even remotely explain what it's going to go on in his head. I know it's probably a lot of emotion, but it'll come out in a smile though.
Jason, the other big story is Tom Brady. I don't know if you heard about it in the NFL, upholding that 4-game suspension. What's your thoughts on that?
That's another wow. This is about Pedro. I'm not getting into everything else. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Jason.
Thanks.
Thanks.
I'm doing good.
Appreciate it.
You all right, Tommy?
I'm all right. That's pretty good.
I still have enthusiasm.